a small town beside the sea. The houses were simple, made from wood and stone, and the streets were lined with small gardens and flowers. The smell of salt water from the sea mixed with the scent of fresh fish and the sweet flowers that bloomed around the town. Every morning, Mia woke up early, hearing the birds sing and the sound of the waves crashing gently against the shore. Mia's father was a fisherman, strong and hard-working, and he loved to tell Mia about the sea and the fish he caught. He worked on his boat every day, mending nets and preparing for the next day's catch. Mia's mother was just as hard-working. She was a beautiful woman with soft brown hair and bright eyes. She made beautiful crafts and sold them to the villagers to help with money. Mia loved her parents deeply and was proud of how hard they worked to make their small family happy. Though they didn't have much, they lived well. Mia spent most of her time by the sea with her father, learning how to fish. He taught her how to throw a net and how to tell when the fish were close. Mia was quick to learn and loved to help her father. She was known in the village as a sweet and kind girl. People would often stop her to say hello or ask her to help with small tasks. In the afternoons, Mia would go home and help her mother. She would tidy up the house, wash dishes, and sometimes even help with making the crafts. Her mother would often smile at her and tell her how proud she was of her. Mia was happy, and every day felt like a new adventure, filled with laughter and love. One winter, everything changed. A strong storm rolled in from the sea, shaking the windows of their little house. The winds howled, and the waves grew larger, crashing against the shore. For many days, the storm didn't stop. The town grew quieter as the fishermen couldn't go out to sea. There was no fish to catch, and the market became empty. Mia's father was worried. Without fish to sell, they wouldn't have money for food or supplies. Mia's mother tried to stay calm, but even she was worried. They had to sell some of their furniture and belongings to get by. The village had never seen a storm like this, and everyone knew it would be a long time before things could return to normal. As the storm passed, Mia's mother fell ill. At first, they thought it was just a cold from the cold winter weather, but days passed, and she didn't get better. She grew weaker, and Mia became very scared. Her father worked hard to care for her, but no one knew what was wrong. No matter what they did, her mother didn't get better. Mia sat by her mother's side every day, holding her hand, hoping for her to wake up and smile like she always did. But her mother's condition only worsened. Finally, after many weeks, her mother passed away. The whole town mourned with Mia and her father. Everyone knew how kind and good her mother had been. Mia felt lost without her mother. She missed her gentle words and her loving presence. The world seemed colder and darker without her. Mia felt as though her world had broken apart. Her father was no longer the same. He was sad, quiet, and couldn't bring himself to work as hard as before. The boat was left at the dock. The nets remained broken, and there was little food in the house. Mia knew that if she didn't help, they would have nothing. She promised herself that she would stay strong for her father. She couldn't let him fall apart completely. Every day, Mia took on more and more responsibility. She helped the villagers with small jobs, ran errands, and even learned to fix the fishing nets that had been abandoned. She would often sit by the window at night, staring out at the sea, thinking about her mother's words. Always be kind, Mia, and always stay strong. Her mother had taught her to be brave, even when times were hard. Mia knew that now, more than ever, she had to be brave. One day, while walking through the village, Mia met an elderly woman who had a small garden. The woman needed help picking vegetables, and Mia offered to help. The woman smiled at her and said, "You're just like your mother, Mia. She was always so kind to everyone." Mia smiled back, feeling both proud and sad at the same time. She missed her mother, but she knew she had to keep going, for her father's sake. The winter was long, and the town grew quieter. The cold winds and heavy snow made it difficult for anyone to work. Mia's father became weaker, and Mia could see how much he struggled. She tried to keep him happy, but it was hard. She worked hard, doing the tasks he couldn't do, but she still felt like something was missing. Then, one day, everything changed. A man from the city came to town. His name was Mr. Lane, and he owned a large fish market. Mr. Lane was a kind man, though he was very rich and successful. He had come to the village to see if he could buy fish from the local fishermen. While walking through the town, Mr. Lane saw Mia working hard on the docks, fixing a net. He noticed how skilled she was, and how she helped the other fishermen with their boats. She was young, but she worked with the focus and determination of someone much older. Mr. Lane approached her and smiled. "You work very hard," he said. "I can see that you're very skilled. Would you be interested in coming to work for me at my market? I could use someone like you." Mia was surprised. She had never worked in a big market before, but she knew this was an opportunity she couldn't ignore. She asked her father about it, and although he was reluctant at first, he agreed that it might be good for Mia to have a chance to work in the city. Mia was nervous, but she knew this could change their lives. Mia moved to the city to work at Mr. Lane's fish market. It was very different from the quiet life she had known in her small village. The market was busy, with people shouting and calling out to sell their fish. Mia was nervous at first, but she soon learned the work. She helped with everything, from cleaning the fish to talking to customers. Over time, Mia became very skilled. She learned how to make deals with the customers and how to handle the many different kinds of fish that came into the market. She worked hard, and soon she was earning enough money to send home to her father. Though the work was hard, Mia found it rewarding. She made new friends at the market, all of whom admired her hard-working nature. They told her she was doing well, and she felt proud of herself. She was taking care of her father from afar, sending him money, and making sure he had enough to eat. One day, as Mia worked at the market, she noticed a young man watching her. He was tall, with short brown hair and a kind face. He was Maester Lane's son, Leo, who had recently returned from studying in the city. Leo was different from the other boys in the market. While many were loud and boisterous, Leo was quiet and respectful. He watched Mia with admiration as she worked. Mia didn't notice Leo at first. She was too busy with her work. But Leo began to visit the market more often, always looking for a reason to talk to her. He admired how kind and hard-working she was, and over time, he began to develop feelings for her. He started to visit the market, not just to learn about the business, but also to see Mia. Mia had always been the kind of person who kept her head down and worked hard. She wasn't one to seek attention or make friends easily, but there was something about Leo that intrigued her. He was kind and gentle, not like the other young men she had met in the busy market. At first, she wasn't sure why he kept coming by the market to talk to her, but she soon noticed that he didn't just want to learn about fish. He was genuinely interested in her. Leo would stand nearby as Mia worked, watching her every move. Sometimes he would offer to help her carry heavy crates or clean the tables in the market. Mia wasn't used to people offering help, and at first she declined. But slowly, she began to accept his help, and they started talking more. Leo was easy to talk to. He asked about her life in the village, her family, and what it was like living by the sea. Mia learned that Leo had spent several years studying in the city, learning business and trade. He was clever, but he had never worked a day in the fish market. He admired Mia's skill and work ethic. He often told her how impressed he was with her and how much he had learned just by watching her. One day, Leo asked Mia if she would like to take a walk around the city after work. He had been exploring the market and the nearby streets and wanted to show her the places he thought she might enjoy. Mia was hesitant at first, but something about Leo's calm and respectful nature made her feel safe. She agreed. As they walked through the streets, Leo talked to her about his studies in the city and his hopes for the future. He spoke of the life he dreamed of, where he could help his father run the market and expand their business. Mia listened, smiling. She had never thought much about her future outside of taking care of her father and working at the market. But with Leo, she felt like she could imagine something more. Over the next few weeks, they spent more time together, and Mia found herself looking forward to their talks. Leo would ask her about the village and her family, and Mia would tell him stories of her childhood and her mother. She had not realized how much she missed talking about her past until Leo started asking about it. Mia had never expected to form such a close friendship with someone from the city. But as they spent more time together, Mia began to realize that Leo was more than just a friend. He was someone she could trust, someone who made her feel understood. As weeks passed, Leo's admiration for Mia grew into something more. He began to notice the little things about her, the way she smiled when she helped an elderly woman at the market, the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about her family, and the way she worked tirelessly without ever complaining. Leo found himself drawn to her, not just because of her beauty, but because of her strength, kindness, and the way she carried herself with grace, even when times were tough. One evening, after they had finished working, Leo asked Mia to walk with him to the edge of the market where they could look out at the sea. The evening sky was a soft shade of orange as the sun set, casting a warm glow over the water. They sat on a bench near the docks, and Leo looked at Mia with a mixture of admiration and longing in his eyes. "Mia," Leo began, his voice a little shaky, "I've been thinking about something for a while now. I know I've only known you for a short time, but I feel like I've known you forever. You are the kindest, most hard-working person I've ever met, and I admire you more than words can say." Mia looked at Leo, surprised by his words. She hadn't expected him to say anything like that. She had always seen him as a quiet, respectful young man, but now, sitting next to him, she saw something else in his eyes, something deeper. Leo took a deep breath and continued, "I have feelings for you, Mia. I know you have a lot of responsibilities, and I don't want to add to your burden. But I want you to know that I care about you more than just a friend. Now, from this point, the story will be continued in the next part.